Today I'm going to be telling y'all how two 22-year-olds built the most viewed cabin in the world, and it's not even finished yet. For those of y'all that don't know me, I'm Rajan, I'm 22, and I just graduated from the University of Virginia 4 months ago. I started making content on Instagram exactly 1 year ago, and it was me documenting a shoe business that I'd run for the 5 years prior. Then in November of 2024, which was 3 months after I started that, my high school friend Renzo brought me this piece of land to develop. His idea was that we could buy the land and develop it into a luxury cabin retreat. We took inspiration from someone named Isaac French, who built 7 cabins in Waco, Texas, called Live Oak Lake. He recently exited that project for $7 million, and we're trying to recreate that project here in Virginia with a wellness focus. By the way, I'd never done real estate development before this. My only prior experience that I had was buying an investment property at 21 years old with the shoe money I'd made, but buying a long-term investment and developing property are two completely different things. I literally knew nothing when I came into this. It was my partner Renzo who was obsessed with development, and this is really his vision that's coming to life right now. This whole journey of me documenting is just me trying to catch up to him on a knowledge base. So Renzo brought me the deal in November 2024. Fast forward, right now it's October of 2025. I've grown my personal brand to 500,000 followers across all platforms. We've met some of the biggest names in real estate, content, even tech. This thing has really changed our lives. Sometimes I don't even know what's going on. It's like a surreal feeling. This is not even real. But yeah, over the last year, I've been in rooms that I definitely do not deserve to be in, but we've just garnered so much attention that I guess people want to listen to what we have to say. I guess I'm not a bot. Now I'm on YouTube talking to y'all's pretty faces, and this feels pretty weird, I'm not gonna lie. My short form videos on Instagram are usually hyper edited. I'll literally take my lines 10 to 15 times if I have to. I'll throw pop-ups up on the screen, all these visual effects, but I want this YouTube channel to be a little bit more raw, just me talking to the camera, explaining you guys the behind the scenes of what's going on in the project, and just overall where my head is at. So to answer the question, that's the title of this video. It took me a while to get to the point. How did we build the most viewed cabin in the world? You know what I mean? We might be too tough. I'm kidding. Let's talk about it from a super high level on how we did it. So Renzo first found this land on Zillow. It was listed on the market for over 200 days. No one wanted it. So he ran some numbers on the total land, what the build would cost, FF&E, and realized that the cash that was needed from him, he only had half of it. So he came to me. It took him 5 minutes to convince me because there was one thing that really convinced me in the beginning to jump into this. It's because when we made our offer on this land, it was contingent that we had a 21-day study period and we could back out for any reason. So I was like, why not? It could just be a fun experience. So we made the offer for $37,000, 2.5 acres, and the seller, boom, accepted it right away. We didn't even expect it, but we have to go full study mode. We get engineers, we talk to contractors, and we quickly realized that 21 days is not enough time to study the land. We asked the seller for an extension and they said yes, so it ended up being 60 days until we could actually officially close on the land. Fast forward those 60 days, we got a contractor that built the most poppin' Airbnb after he watched one of my Instagram videos. We secured a construction loan after applying to 10 different banks, and engineers gave us the green light to build on this lot. So boom, January 10th, 2025, we officially closed on this land. For the next 3 months, we just did site work. There were a bunch of huge rocks on our land, huge logs, dead trees. We had to move all that stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, we moved super slow, but it was worth it just for the learning experience. Then in about April or May is when we actually started breaking ground. We put in our footers, dug our foundation, and those piers that you see got put up. We got fully framed in like 10 days, and we thought we were gonna be finished in like 2 more weeks. Psych! Tariffs hit us hard, so we couldn't get our windows in. We had a lot of moving parts that we couldn't figure out. It was kind of a mess for a little bit. So I'm skipping a lot of parts, but it took 3 months for our windows to get put in again. So it wasn't until August that we could start the interior work in our cabin, and we were still moving slow at that point. But the good thing about moving slow was that I was able to make a bunch of content throughout all this, and we were able to blow up our page, make all these new connections, and people were really getting traction on our story. The end goal with the build was to run it as a short-term rental, and in this county, you have to go through a 3-month process to get a short-term rental permit. Now that permit process, let's just say they don't like me out here. It was a back and forth between the neighborhood, the county. We eventually got it sorted out. On October 7th, we got our permit, which was about 2 weeks ago. And once we're done and fully ready to rent out, we can rent this out short term now. Like I said, we've been positioning this as a health retreat. We're around a bunch of nature. We're gonna have a hot tub sauna, cold plunge. We gotta do a bunch more stuff in the marketing too to like, you know, really get the wellness people involved and stuff. I know I was vague and sped through a bunch of different things, but I really wanna ask you guys, should I make an individual video on every single part that I said? I think we could boil it down to like 6 or 7 parts. Oh my God. Now, but for real though, it's like due diligence, then getting a loan, so like financing, and then getting a contractor, and then actually building the thing, even tariffs, so like macroeconomic policy, dealing with counties. Like I could make an individual video about all that different stuff. I want to hear from you guys in the comments on what videos you want to see first. This build is about 2 weeks from being finished. I'm so excited. All the interior work is going really fast now. Hopefully something doesn't come up and just mess it all up again, but I got my fingers crossed. We can have our first guest on November 15th. We got a couple private bookings, then it's open to the public on December 1st. I think we're gonna blow this out the water. I wanna be super transparent with you guys through all this. I haven't made any money from social media. We've gotten some bookings already, but that's going all into the next build. I'm so broke right now, bro. Like, oh my God, I need to make some money, bro. But at the same time, it has been the most fulfilling experience. I was supposed to go work a job at JP Morgan, and I am so happy that I turned it down to build this. I think me and my partner Renzo are really making an impact on social media. A lot of people have copied our formats. A lot of people run businesses our age. It's a beautiful thing to see, and it makes me super happy. I don't know how long I just made this YouTube video to be. I hope it's not too long. I think it's gonna be really hard to edit. Bro, it takes me like 3 hours to edit Instagram videos. All right, let me stop talking. Let me know what you guys wanna see. I'm uploading every Thursday. Shout out my boy Tanner Maddox. He got me on this. It's about time I get on long form content. Let's get it poppin'. Subscribe to me, gang.